past week, the field shook, the draft surprised, and the world's biggest names made moves we didn't see coming. Shedeur Sanders was a top prospect, until the draft board had other plans. A drop? Maybe. A wake-up call? Definitely. Prime blood doesn't panic, it powers up. And just when we thought Caitlin Clark had the WNBA world in her hands, the draft drop hit, from college queen, to the chip on her shoulder. Across the ocean, Kylian Mbappé made defenders vanish. Same speed, new story, and maybe a new jersey. In Rome, the world leaned in, as Pope Francis delivered not just a blessing, but a warning: leadership in uncertain times, from the heart of faith. John Cena, Randy Orton, two legends, one question: who still got it? Spoiler alert, both. And from Wall Street to Parliament Hill, Mark Carney isn't talking economics anymore. He's running a country now. Meet Canada's newest Prime Minister, Elon Musk. She walked off the field, for the final time. A warrior, a leader, a legacy written in bruises and boldness. Meanwhile, Donald Trump, dropping tariff threats like their tweets. Markets shook, allies froze, and the economy, holding its breath. Elon Musk just added $400 billion in value, and somehow, it's not even his biggest flex this year. From rockets to robot access, he's not done yet. This isn't just news. These are moments that shift careers, shake politics, and reset expectations.
Yo, what just happened at the NFL Draft 2025? Shedeur Sanders, Deion Sanders' son, just fell to the 5th round. Nobody saw this coming. This was a guy some analysts said could go top 10 just a year ago. Heisman hype. Crazy arm talent. Coach's blood in his veins. And yet, 144 players got picked before him. So what went wrong? Some scouts questioned his size and durability. Critics said he held onto the ball too long at Colorado. And yeah, injuries this season didn't help either. But let's be real. Shedeur's talent is legit. His footwork. His football IQ. And now the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, the Browns. Just picked him up. 5th round steal. Future franchise QB. One thing's for sure, falling in the draft doesn't define greatness. Remember Tom Brady? Drafted 199th. 6 Super Bowls later, nobody talks about when he got picked. Shedeur's story ain't over, it's just getting started. And knowing he's Deion Sanders' son, yeah, you know he's built different. Hit that subscribe if you're riding with Shedeur Sanders. This is Prime Bio. We tell real stories. Let's get it done.
She didn't just dominate college hoops, she owned it. Now, Caitlin Clark is storming the WNBA, ready to snatch the crown. This isn't the future. This is now. And she's about to set the league on fire. From leading Iowa to the NCAA championship showdown to being the #1 pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, Caitlin Clark didn't just arrive. She exploded onto the scene. The pressure? Crushing. Her response? Legendary. As a rookie, she snagged 4th in MVP voting. Her sniper-level logo threes, razor-sharp court vision, and relentless swagger turned heads and broke records. Caitlin Clark isn't just a star, she's a supernova, and she's hungry for more. This offseason, no beach vacations. Caitlin went beast mode, grinding, building strength, speed, and an ironclad edge. She's not just back, she's unstoppable, saying she feels like a whole new weapon. The WNBA is on notice. Odds makers have her as a top contender for the 2025 MVP. With blockbuster free agency moves, the Indiana Fever aren't just in the game, they're hunting the throne. Circle May 17th versus Chicago. That's when the takeover begins. If you live for epic moments, for game changers who rewrite history, this is your call. Caitlin Clark is the spark you don't want to miss. Smash that like, subscribe to Prime Bio, and hit the bell to stay locked in for every jaw-dropping play. Want the ultimate deep dive on Caitlin's rise from Iowa to WNBA royalty? Drop a comment below, and we'll make it happen.
18 December 2022. A 31-year-old boy gave a tough time to the entire Argentina team. Legendary footballer Messi was playing in this team. Everyone is talking about this guy. I'm going to share with you the story of the great Kylian Mbappé.
From a small apartment in Bondi to the biggest stage in world football, he became a world champion at 19, scored a hat trick in a World Cup final, and outshined legends like Messi and Ronaldo. This is the unbelievable journey of Kylian Mbappé. You're watching Prime Bio, where legends come to life.
The world says goodbye to a spiritual leader who touched millions. Pope Francis has died at the age of 88, passing away peacefully on Easter Monday morning, the Vatican confirmed. His death, on a day symbolizing rebirth and resurrection, feels both solemn and symbolic for the man who spent his life preaching mercy, hope, and humility. It's a farewell steeped in meaning. Pope Francis was a man of many firsts, the first Jesuit pope, the first pope from Latin America, and the first to take the name Francis, after the saint who embraced poverty, peace, and care for the earth. Born George Mario Bergoglio in Buenos Aires, he rose from modest beginnings, taking the subway, cooking his own meals, and living with the people he served. In 2013, he stepped onto the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica and broke tradition with 5 simple words: "Pray for me." It was the start of a papacy grounded in humility. Francis gave us more than sermons. He gave us action. He embraced refugees, kissed the feet of prisoners, and made the poor the heart of the church. He challenged leaders on climate change, called out corruption, and opened dialogue on issues long considered untouchable, from LGBTQ rights to women's roles in the church. Yes, his views stirred debate, but through it all, he remained a shepherd, walking with the people, not above them. In a divided world, he was a bridge builder. In a cold world, he was warmth, and in a church facing crisis, he was a voice for reform. On this Easter Monday, his journey ends, but his legacy is only beginning. Rest in peace, Pope Francis, a humble heart, a bold voice, a servant of love. 21st April 2025, Monday Night Raw. The Viper and the franchise face-to-face, but only one walks away. John Cena stood tall, called out respect, legacy, even hinted at one final run. But Randy Orton, he had other plans. No trash talk, no warnings, just that cold Orton stare, and the crowd could feel it coming. Intensifying, and then, boom, out of nowhere, the RKO lands like a thunderclap. Cena hits the mat. The crowd erupts. Orton just stands there, calm, calculated, cold. That RKO wasn't just a move. It was a statement, a reminder. The Viper is always watching. 2 icons, 1 strike, and a moment that lit the WWE Universe on fire. Dramatic pause. Is this the beginning of the end, or just the beginning of war? Randy Orton shocks the world again, and Raw will never be the same.
This just in, Canada has a new Prime Minister, and his message to the United States?
We will never yield.
Mark Carney has just won the federal election, leading the Liberal Party to victory after a fierce, high-stakes campaign. He stepped in after Justin Trudeau's exit, and in just a few months, turned the political tide in his favor. But this wasn't a normal election. This was a campaign fueled by tension. Thanks to U.S. President Donald Trump. Trump hit Canada hard with trade tariffs on cars, aluminum, steel, hitting key Canadian industries. And then things got bizarre. Trump publicly suggested that Canada should become America's 51st state. The response from Carney? Bold, unshaken. Canada, he said,
We'll never yield to the United States.
So who exactly is Mark Carney? He's not your average politician. He's a global heavyweight in finance, former governor of the Bank of Canada, former governor of the Bank of England, a man known for steady leadership during global crises. And now he's at Canada's helm, focused on protecting Canadian identity, restoring global respect, and standing tall in the face of pressure. This election sent a clear message. Canadians are done being underestimated. This was a vote for independence, for dignity, and for strength. A vote to defend Canada's voice in the world. As Carney takes the lead, the world watches. Will tensions with the U.S. rise even more? Will Canada's economy hold strong under pressure? One thing's for sure, the age of quiet diplomacy is over. A new chapter in Canadian leadership has begun, and Mark Carney is setting the tone. This is Prime Bio, where power meets personality. Like, share, and subscribe for more bold stories that matter.
Two legends, two worlds, one massive week in sports. Ilona Maher meets WrestleMania. And this is Prime Bio bringing you the hype. Ilona Maher isn't just a rugby player. She's a full-blown phenomenon. TikToks with millions of views. Fierce on the field. fiercer online. She's turning rugby, a sport many Americans barely know, into a cultural movement. She's not even playing in the next match against Japan, but her influence helped sell out a women's game in Kansas City. Over 7,500 fans. Record-breaking. Women's rugby, it's no longer niche, it's next. Meanwhile, in Las Vegas, WrestleMania 41 just shook the strip. John Cena made his final appearance. And yeah, it was emotional, it was electric. For decades, countless slams. One legacy, sealed. New stars are stepping in, but this WrestleMania, it was all about closing one epic chapter and opening a new one. From rucks to ropes, Mar and Cena proved one thing. Sports aren't just games, they're movements. You're watching Prime Bio. Drop a like if you're here for the legends, and hit that follow if you're ready for what's next.
From a young boy in South Africa to the man redefining the future of humanity. This is the story of Elon Musk, a visionary, a disruptor, a billionaire who started from nothing and changed everything. Born in 1971 in Pretoria, South Africa, Elon Musk wasn't like the other kids. He was quiet, introverted, but he had one superpower, an insatiable curiosity for technology and the future. At just 12 years old, he coded his first video game, Blaster, and sold it for $500, a glimpse of what was to come. At 17, he left home with a dream, America, the land of opportunity. With barely any money in his pocket, he worked at jobs, slept on couches, and hustled his way into college. Elon studied physics and economics at the University of Pennsylvania, then briefly attended Stanford for 2 days. Why? Because the internet was exploding, and he wanted in. Along with his brother Kimball, Elon started Zip2, a digital city guide for newspapers. They worked day and night, showered at the office, and barely made ends meet until 1999, when Compaq bought Zip2 for $307 million. Elon's cut? $22 million. At 27, he was a millionaire, but he wasn't done. Next, he launched X.com, an online banking startup that would later become PayPal. In 2002, eBay acquired PayPal, and Elon walked away with $180 million. Most people would retire, but Elon, he was just getting started.
He's back.
You're fired, you're fired, you're fired.
And this time, he's bringing hell with him. In a world on edge, one name is crashing back into the spotlight, Donald J. Trump. And he's not coming quietly. He's bringing the political flamethrower, and the system is about to burn. His new campaign: fire mass deportations, bomb a new era of universal tariffs, 10% across the board, and up to 60% on China. Clock a vow to end the Ukraine war in 24 hours. But that's just the start. Big Tech is nervous. Elon Musk is watching closely, because Trump's trade war could turbocharge Tesla and SpaceX, while shaking up global markets in ways we've never seen. This isn't politics as usual. It's not left versus right. It's Trump versus everyone. And the stakes? Everything. Whether you think he's a savior or a threat to democracy, one thing's clear. Trump is rewriting the rules. And if you want to understand how we got here, you need to see his insane journey. This is the story they don't want you to hear. This is Prime Bio. Smash subscribe, because we are dropping truth with no filter. So let's start.
Prime Bio. Fuel your life with Prime Bio.